Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Happy Monday and happy International Women's Day. This seems like the perfect opportunity for us to speak to you about a topic that is very near and dear to our heart, and that is the topic of advocacy. In format, let me just first thank our sponsors at First Command for making these conversations possible, and then let's go ahead and define what we mean by advocacy. The definition of advocacy is something that is an activity by an individual group that aims to influence decisions within political, economic, or social institutions. Why is it important? Because it seeks to ensure that all people in society are able to have their voice heard on issues that are important to them, protect and promote our rights, have our views and wishes genuinely considered when decisions are being made about our lives. Now, if that doesn't resonate to you as a military spouse professional, I don't know what else will. At NMSN, one of the most important things I think we do is advocate for military spouse employment opportunities. And then the flip side of that, we also advocate to remove the barriers to military spouse employment. A key thing about advocacy is that we do that whether or not we benefit, right? Because we do that to benefit the society, the community. Our commitment is to advocating for more opportunities and advocating to removing barriers. Although a bunch of us are spouses of retired service members, it doesn't directly benefit us. That's not the purpose of advocacy. Advocacy is to advocate for other groups. That doesn't mean that, there isn't a certain role that advocacy plays in your own life. Case in point, if you are in a situation where you work for someone and they don't necessarily understand all the benefits that military spouses are eligible for, such as Military Spouse Residency Relief Act, then you should absolutely advocate for yourself. Go into that office, go speak to HR, bring all the justification, bring all the regs, bring everything that you need to make the case to advocate for yourself. That is one layer of advocacy, right? That everyday kind of advocacy to make your own life better. The advocacy that we actually engage in is at that 50,000 foot level where we identify gaps and then we advocate to make those gaps go away, right? Or we advocate for solutions. A lot of you may not even care about spouse employment. That's fine. You may care about the state of your children's education. You may care about, your own situation. You might care about a stop sign on the corner of your street because you found that the cars go by so quickly. This is all called advocacy, and I hope you guys all engage in this because I think it's really important to kind of exercise that muscle that gets you engaged and working on behalf of solving problems. Because if you start to do this, then it becomes part of your fiber. Then it doesn't seem like such a big deal when things roll around. Like, hey, we're gonna do a day of advocacy. Like say our day of advocacy that we do every Military Spouse Appreciation Day, and we put a call out there for advocates to come and tell your stories on Capitol Hill. Talk to your legislators and tell them your stories about spouse employment. That is advocacy. By virtue of just telling your stories and sharing your stories, that feeds into advocacy. Then other people can come in and like just say, okay, now here are the solutions, right? They've very well articulated the problems. Now here we are with the solutions. I think a lot of military spouses look at advocacy as something that is so big and like such a big lift that they don't want to engage. And that is not the case. That's really what I really wanted to convey to you today. And what I hope you'll walk away from this talk with is that you can engage with advocacy in your everyday life, advocating for the things you care about. And you can just do it 5-10 minutes a day. You can do it in 30 seconds. It doesn't take very long, but it's just taking that extra step. And what does that look like for you? Maybe it's you're on a board, or maybe you're in a room and people are talking about veterans. Maybe we were just in a roundtable and they were talking about veterans benefits. And it took nothing off, it took nothing for me to say, hey, everywhere you say veterans, are military spouses eligible as well? We're having this conversation about veterans. It doesn't take away from the veterans eligibility. I'm just asking that extra question. Are military spouses also eligible? Took me less than 30 seconds, right? But that is a very powerful form of advocacy. It is knowing that you may be privileged to sit at tables and be in on conversations that the rest of us aren't able to partake in. And then you take that extra step to advocate for our community by saying, hey, I see you're talking about veteran eligibility. I see you're talking about active duty eligibility. How about military spouses? It's just that asking that extra question. That is also advocacy. So, big takeaway, advocacy is for everyone. It's not just for lobbyists, it's not just for people who belong to associations or who lead nonprofits. Advocacy is for everyone. It is something for us all to consider doing. Like at NMSN, yes, we've taken on the mantle of and the responsibility of advocating for military spouse employment. That's great, but we can't do it alone. There's a role in it for everyone. So if you have any questions, I hope you will drop them in the comments. If you'd like us to go into any topics more deeply, we're happy to do so. I just really want to come on here and share with you an easy like definition of advocacy, what it means to advocate, and who it's for. And the answer to that is simple. Advocacy is helping to make sure that we're all part of the discussion, that military spouses are part of the decisions, and that our voices and our desires are articulated everywhere these conversations are taking place. Again, I can't think of a better day than, International Women's Day, where I think one of my favorite quotes is, women belong everywhere that decisions are being made. I'm not discounting our male spouses out there. I'm just speaking to, the 94% women out there, but all military spouses, male or female, need to be advocating, right, for our community. And the last question was, who needs to be advocating? Everyone. There's a role in it for all of us. You don't have to take a heavy lift. You don't have to go up on Capitol Hill. You don't have to talk to your legislators. If it makes you uncomfortable, you can do something as simple as, hey, if you listen in on a conversation and you hear them talking about veterans, throw in military spouses. Just be conscious of it, right? And so by participating in this straight talk, now we've raised the issue. Now you know better, and now you'll never be able to forget it. So I hope that if you have the chance, and everybody has a chance, that you'll choose to advocate for others. Thanks so much and have a great day.